soul surfers. May I call you motherfucker today? Whenever you are seeing this with permissions. It's Friday night. Feeling kind of wild. And so we thought we'd hang out with you for a spell and see what comes out for assistance in the highest love and light while having a little fun on the way and just being a human. Like, wow, so far from perfect, so far from perfect. And so we ground down, we forgive ourselves, we elevate, we play with things that we love, like, oh my God, these beautiful beads, this jet from the Bead Cache, the beautiful, brilliant creatives at the Bead Cache, the Sistine artists like us to keep doing what we love, and they too as well. Oh my God, this jet, and then this beautiful pink, oh, don't you think? So these are the things, some of the joy cards we play, and I just couldn't help but share with you. And you see we have some crystal energy healing here in addition to this. I'm acting like a lunatic, aren't I? You know, oh my God. 2024. Holy fucking cow. What is happening, right? Things have picked up the pace, and oh my God, just a human. I just wanted to emphasize I'm so far from perfect. And the guilt and shame card comes up every day, and we could tell stories until we're blue in the face about all the horrible things that we do when our amygdala gets tripped by fear and grief and loss. And what does that do? Right? Then we're dead, right? We've told the stories until we're dead instead of reprogramming our amygdala. So we are trying to reprogram our amygdala, even though we are human and we trip and fall and we do horrible things sometimes that devastate Mother Earth, Father Sky, ourselves, others. And so we are learning how to reprogram our amygdala and forgive. And so we have some books on the table, as well as crystals and cards and runes and scents and various yummy baubles and accoutrement in our holy space to share with you as we shift from here to there. And I wanted to pick out a few affirmations to start with to honor what is, and just me, myself, and I. Sometimes I may come across extremely arrogant, righteous, like a know-it-all, aggressive, violent, and so I need to apologize and forgive, apologize for hurting others, and also forgiving myself for taking it out on myself so much that I would hurt myself and try to take my own life. And so one of these cards is I forgive myself and choose to love myself. And this is an affirmation from Louise Hay, Heal Your Body. 4 times I cut myself. And maybe you can relate if you have tuned into this channel. Perhaps you or someone you love has tried to take their own life by cutting themselves. And so I easily forgive. I love myself and reward myself with thoughts of praise. Like, thank God it didn't take, and we are still here, and me, myself, and I. And for those that crossed over to Father Sky and those they left behind on Mother Earth, Archangel Azrael is comforting you all. And if you are not vibing with that, you may offer what soothes you during these times. And you know, these times when loss hurts so much that we want to hurt ourselves or someone else, but not really. And so who are the guides we call upon? The earthly team and the spiritual team. And so those were 2 I wanted to start off with, jumping right in without any warning. I apologize, but perhaps if you've been tuning in you've seen what's been happening, you're aware, and you are on a parallel path, and reprogramming the amygdala and trying to move a different way. And I pulled out Louise's book. Like, I know her. She's so beautiful. She's passed on but left a living legacy. It's so amazing. And so this Heal Your Body, the mental causes for physical illness and the metaphysical way to overcome them. So we play with this, and as it resonates with you, maybe you may as well. And I was called to share bulimia. The first time I binged and purged was 1987, my senior year, Thanksgiving. And we could go into that. As a 17-year-old, I didn't have words for it. I was more like a 7-year-old emotionally, for the way that adoptees' loss is swept under the carpet. The primal wound is assumed to be resolved by the new family, when in fact it's not. The work resolves the primal wound throughout your life, every day. And so thankfully, adoptive families are catching on, and they are addressing their primal wound along with the adoptee's primal wound, and it's life-changing. People aren't driving themselves off cliffs anymore, and God help us all. Thanks for helping us all. And so bulimia, Louise Hay, she brings out all sorts of issues, A to Z, and she talks about, well, like the title said, the probable cause and the new thought pattern. It's a short version. So bulimia. And I'm bringing this up, Super Bowl weekend, all the food we consume. I'm feeling it myself. I blew through half a bag of chips today and salsa. It's been a while. And I'm a lifetime member of Weight Watchers, which means I hit my goal weight once, and so I can return as long as I'm at my goal weight, which maybe I'm getting close back to being at my goal weight. But bulimia, the probable cause is a hopeless terror, a frantic stuffing of purging and self-hatred, which brings us back around to this cutting on myself and trying to take my own life in 2012 and again in 2021, but much less. It was more of a scratch than a tear. And so that probable cause, perhaps you can relate. And if you're a psychic, you may be picking up on other people feeling this way. And so you may give yourself extra time and space to help process and wring that out and distinguish your stuff from others, and to help keep everybody safe and sound. And so the alternative thought pattern, I am loved and nourished and supported by life itself. It is safe for me to be alive. And I appreciate that Louise Hay said, 200 times a day would maybe be appropriate. I'm like, really? Well, what are we doing if we're not forced marching war anymore, which is what we're doing here in higher states of adoption or adoption spirit immersion. There's two ways of looking at it. Many ways of looking at it, because we are all different psychosocial science experiments, and what works for some doesn't for others. And so you just always want to quadruple check with your own gut, heart, mind, soul, intuition, and your spirit team. And you may enjoy tapping into books like this to dive into tapping into your connecting with your spirit team if you haven't done that already, and also to help through these times when we are just beside ourselves, just not knowing what to do. We all give Reiki. If you give a hug, you give Reiki. And the warning is, if you have a pacemaker, you want to be extra careful and quadruple check with your doctor. And you may appreciate tuning into different Reiki music or healers, or put your hands on yourself and start practicing yourself with guides such as these. And you can see some different hand positions there. And so you can play around with that, because we are playing through the times where loss is so much that we want to hurt ourselves or somebody else, but not really. We really don't want to do that. And we also want to honor the times, wow, sometimes we trip and fall and we hurt ourselves and somebody else. And so forgiving ourselves and forgiving others and playing through and loving ourselves anyways, because that's what humans are. That's what we do. That's what we do. It's fucking fabulous. It's really thrilling, especially with AI on the scene, that may help us in our healing, and we can just relax and rest into being human instead of trying to be perfect. We can abandon that culture of perfection that perhaps some of you grew up in around the world. It's in all the schools, trying to make the A grade, the varsity team, the college, be perfect, perfect, perfect. And then also all the programming. There's so many different ways, right? So we are abandoning that and turning it into a culture of progress and forgiving ourselves and not feeding into the evil trap, not feeding into the good evil trap, and transforming all ranks of military into healing, teaching, homeschool, because we now identify that mad call for war is really a distorted cry to help the youth under 35 and all of their families. And that's fucking thrilling. And so hopefully something we share here assists you a little bit, and hopefully we don't harm or offend too much. Ring-a-ding-ding. You may say a bell mantra from Thich Nhat Hanh to help clear the space. Mind, body, speech in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om. Peace. Shanti. 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 And I thought we'd do something a little different tonight, whenever you are tuning in, to help play through the loss. There's times when loss is so much we want to hurt ourselves or someone else, but not really. And how do you do that? Even when you trip and fall and really fucking fuck up. Jesus fucking Christ, God help us all. Thank you for helping us all and forgiving us all. It's just... we feel so blessed. We feel so blessed. And we thank our ancestors and all they went through, and honoring the maternal side, the paternal side, birth families, maternal family, paternal birth family, adoptive family, maternal, paternal, in-laws, if you're there, and so on and so forth, chosen families, and everything that the humans have done through time to get us to where we are now. And we have the biggest opportunity. We have such an opportunity to, of our own free will, decide to do something different. And that is super thrilling. Like, oh my God, really? We could decide of our own free mind to reprogram our amygdala instead of going to war? We could just say, oh my God, we get it. Nobody's evil. It's just that spectrum of loss hurts so much. It causes the toddler to rage, the teen to rage, the teacher to rage, the terrorist to rage, the tyrant to rage. We're all the same. We all rage when the loss is so much. It possesses us by grief, and we can forgive, and we can retreat to heal. And everybody's such a different psychosocial science experiment. So finding our space to heal and honoring that, and the times we can't, just really, really leaning into the healing treatments. And perhaps you go so far as to get a treatment table that you can put yourself on, or a sound system so you can do sound healings for yourself, or crystal bells, or cards, or scents, or stones. Just to make sure that those times you can keep yourself safe and back off and keep yourself safe in a space that you really enjoy, and back off of that culture of perfection, that culture of critique, and ease into that culture of progress, and cut yourself some slack and everybody else. And so we got some charms. We have a beautiful drum. This is talking about the beat, the rhythm of life that we all are in. And it's one of the universal laws. I am learning. As you see, I have the note cards. And we all have our stacked per life deck of cards to help us play through the loss as we in life and our needs, wants, and desires keep changing. And note cards, writing it down, making it happen. It is, there's a book by Henriette Ann Clouser, but there's, a method to this, writing it down instead of just keeping it in your head. You can write these note cards down, and then you can come back and study and practice, and eventually, hey, you've learned the language. Awesome. Magic has happened, that alchemy of lifelong learning. And so this is the law of rhythm that I was speaking to with that drum, and it goes with your sacral chakra, the orange chakra, so much about the sacral chakra. Mainly, I sense it's your center of creativity that helps play through these times when loss is so much that sometimes we want to hurt ourselves or someone else, but not really. So leaning into our creativity, creating for others and ourselves to help play through. And this law of rhythm helps. Perhaps you get yourself a drum, and so you can remember that. And Archangel Haniel may assist you. Also, if you are really you've been moving from low to high states of adoption, perhaps your clairs have been coming up, your gifts have been popping out, and you're learning to discern, oh wow, I feel a lot of what other people are feeling, your clairsentience. And perhaps Haniel helps you with that, helps cloak you and helps you differentiate between your emotions, thoughts, feelings, and others. And also maybe Archangel Raziel, and you may have others, so you may add that you have found helpful to help you differentiate other helpful techniques. There's so many, right? We're all different psychosocial science experiments. So, and then musicians, we are all into sound and nature, music and nature. It's one of the first intelligences that we develop. I don't even know if you can see that. I apologize. And according to Howard Gardner, musical naturalist intelligence is one of the first intelligences that humans develop. And Howard Gardner is a 20th century educationalist, and he offered a theory about multiple intelligences, which to me look like the Western version of chakras, but you may look at it and see something different. So check it out. You may enjoy checking it out. I invite you to check it out. See, me trying not to be so aggressive. Really, it's a learning curve, right? Because we were raised, so many of us, in this culture of perfection, and then we were taught to be aggressive, to get the job done, and lean into the power in each cell of our body instead of the unconditional love in each cell of our body, instead of balancing them out. But the A and the A sharp may help us with that law of rhythm, so that is super fun. And those were the 12 universal laws. You may look that up, and the sacred geometry that goes with that. But I thought we'd look at the Rider-Waite and do a little Celtic cross and see what may assist us in playing through minding our business in the highest love and light. And you are a whole, full, loving, powerful spiritual being, and so am I. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. Heartily, we are grateful. And so it was, and so it was, and so it was. Oh yes, we've been going through it. So yeah, the 5 of Cups, that loss. We've been looking at our loss. There's 3 cups down. There's 2 more standing up, ready for us to take, to honor our healing path, the hero's journey. And of course, we don't have to. Like, it's our free will. We get to choose whatever we want. And here in higher states of adoption, we have taken on the hero's journey. And if that is not to say we are perfect, no, we're humans, right? Sometimes we still turn around and look at those 3 cups and we're like, what the fuck? Oh shit, sorry. No, that's fucking awesome. That really helped me to get to where I am now. And there's a learning curve, right? sometimes it takes a little while to get from here to there. And we've also had the tower, right? So this may bring up touchy issues for some of us, but those of us who have been into tarot longer than others may be familiar. Like, this tower wasn't a 9/11 event. Like, this, people have been throwing themselves out of the buildings. This is what we do. You keep evolving. For example, you're not the same person you were when you were 5. The 5-year-old wasn't the same person when they were 7. Kept throwing yourself out of towers and rebuilding yourself. And then the magician pops up. I love that. As I say that, that is such affirmation about how you have been recreating yourself. Wow, look at that. Okay, so here we go. Woo! We have the, yep, we've gone through it, right? 10 of wands, and all of those wands, the oppression, the being put down, the not being able to speak up for your own basic needs, having to tend to others instead of yourself, you're able to take all of that now and build a new earth that helps everyone. Like, you got it. You understood. Those people were so hurt and they just needed a little extra help, and they didn't have the tools. And well, now we know. We have more tools. We have more resources. And we understand evil is really loss, just a spectrum of loss. And those who aren't getting mad about what's going down and have the capacity to help can step up. And those that don't have to. You get to take care of yourself, and it's fucking awesome, right? So yeah, and just trying to figure out which way to go. It's been a decision. Like, I left the classroom in 2009. I couldn't even say it. I didn't even know how to say it. I just knew I had to get out. I knew I couldn't take it anymore. I knew I couldn't take living like this, where I put aside my own free will for everybody else. I mean, I loved everybody else, don't get me wrong. And yes, I came across selfish to many people before and after leaving. It's such a touchy thing. Like, this is a transgenerational trauma, and we don't mean to do it. It's just our grief struck by loss amygdala acting out in fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn, which can sound really logical, right? It can sound so logical, it can talk you into a war, right? God bless it and us all, however you call God. And we don't want to do that anymore. Maybe we've had enough experience here in this room. We've had enough experience to know we don't want to do that anymore. And that's not to say we don't trip and fall, right? Because we're human, and sometimes we trip and fall, but it's been quite a decision going back and forth. The 7 of Pentacles, which way do we go? There's this movie with Nicolas Cage and Bridget Fonda, It Could Happen to You. And it's about a police officer winning the lottery and what follows after that, and the fight between the women in his life, and you know, which way to go. One woman was power hungry for the money, and the other was like, wow, I just really appreciate the love. And there's a balance. We don't have to pick one or the other. We are at this place in our life where, in our evolution, where we can balance the two. We can balance the power and the love without the struggle. And this is thrilling. This is thrilling. And that's not to say that we don't have our work cut out for us, right? But I mean, you make masterpieces, of course, you're going to put in the hours and the love and the attention to the detail. And, you know, sometimes we're not always going to see, we're not always going to know. The moon coming out. We're getting these, the dog and the wolf and the lobster. Oh my God, it's reminding me of Valentine's Day coming up, and what a holiday that used to be. In the history, it wasn't at all what it is today. And perhaps we turn this Valentine's Day on its head and we do something totally different. And instead of amping up the revolution that everybody has been feeling or fearing, it's an evolution. And we just put down our arms. We just fucking put down our arms and we just fucking walk away. And one person after another, from the high ups to the low, and from the low to the high, and perhaps they meet in the middle, or I don't know how it's done, right? I mean, we're all fortune tellers, right? But some things like are not mine to know. And I try to honor those boundaries and honor the mystery, right? We love the mystery. We love the mystery. We love the mystery. And so let's see. I think we need to take that strength card. It was on the bottom. And we'll keep shuffling for the last three. But bravo, bravo. We have been doing it. And it's super thrilling to, of our own free will, to get to decide and to let the mystery unfold and to know, oh, we don't have to force march anymore. We can back off and tap into our superpowers, our clairs, our healing gifts, and heal. We can finally heal. Like the adoptee, we thought we adopted the orphan to heal, but no, we adopted the orphan, now we're seeing, to sign up for military service. No, we're not doing that anymore. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't equivalate, especially when we are trying to ensure every student succeeds. That, to me, seems a priority. Our youth and their families succeeding, all the parent, teacher, students succeeding, not going to war. Everybody fails. It's like right now, we want to ensure every student succeeds. So we have the Hermit. That's our environment, going in for that healing with strength. Love that. The 8 and the 9 following each other, and the King of Swords. Oh, it could be it's our fears, it's our hopes. Really stepping into your power, man of business, divinity, law, whatever your art, whatever your professor, whatever it is that is your thing. Stepping into it, and with that sword that doesn't get used, it's your mind. You know your boundaries. You back off when you start to get mad instead of marching forward and telling people what motherfuckers they are, unless it's like motherfucker right? So beautiful, so beautiful. So let's see how this plays out. I see success on the bottom. Let's see what else the cards play out. This is so much fun. Thank you for playing. Oh my God, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana, 5 major arcana down already. Wow, that's tremendous. And the number, the infinity symbol, it's on the Magician, and on the Strength card, it's that beautiful 8 on its side, and the place in the middle where the circles meet is the present moment, and enjoying the present moment. That's what we get to do now. Enjoy the present moment. Go slow, especially through this next week. Things amping up. Seems like the days are moving faster. Really just giving each other extra space. People have been so scared and fearful, and that leads to that authoritative amygdala kicking in gear. Fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn. Sometimes it seems logical, sometimes it seems illogical, and so we can just know that and say, give ourselves extra space to roll slow. We don't have to go fast. We can give other people extra space. Use our humor as a defense, and we don't have to step up and serve. If we can't do it without getting mad. That's our sign to tag out and heal ourselves, right? And if you stepped up and you start to get mad, well, that's your sign to tag out. That's how we're playing it now. Trying to reprogram the amygdala all the different ways. And you may tune in with other channels. Oh yes, the Sun, Queen of Pentacles. You are stepping into your spiritual prowess, business. Let's see. Yep, that 3 of Hearts. That fear is coming out, and the Sun is on top of the 5 of Swords. That sibling rivalry that's playing out in-house and around the globe is coming to an end. Messages are coming in. There's that number 8 again. We have a 7 and an 8. We got 2 5s. That 5 is the ability to go any direction it will. And that's super exciting. And that number 8, it's a number of power. It's also the number of infinity. It's also a number of karma, illuminating karma, and stepping out of old patterns and stepping into new patterns. And so that is so apropos after what we've been talking about, shifting from the low state of adoption to the high state of adoption. Not to sound superior, it's sort of like the zodiac where there's low and high aspects of every sign. And you may appreciate tuning into our channel on X or YouTube for more about that shift, different takes on it. Maybe you would rather not, because it may seem rather aggressive if you aren't convinced that this is a path for you. And so I just want to honor that I'm just this far down the road, and perhaps we may usher you from low to high states of adoption sooner, much quicker, and with less collateral damage than we experienced moving from 2009. We just knew that we could not sustain this way of life. It would make us sick. And again, we're all fortune tellers, but some things aren't ours to know. Like, it just, right? We've already touched on the suicide factor. And if I had known the details ahead of time, I don't know if I would have made it this far. So what I got in 2008 and 2009 is you got to get out. And the astrology, looking back, all lined up with that. I wasn't aware at the time. My natural intuition was kicking in, something that I had been developing thanks to guides along the way, as that is often how orphans come about their gifts, through the kindness of people they meet along the way who are in touch with their gifts and are also on the healing path. And so in that way, maybe we also help you tap into your intuition and allow you space to flex your intuition. And if there's something here that doesn't resonate, you don't need to take it. You just take what resonates. And let's pick a little charm for you. Let's see what comes up. We have these beautiful charms. So fun, more fun to play with. I'm closing my eyes, seeing what comes up. Oh, a brilliant friend from the backstage. There was a time in my life where I hung out at the backstage. It was awesome. And it's in Culver City, and brilliant creatives there, both sides of the bar. And this used to hold little mice bones. And the brilliant friend is a woodworker, and so he crafted this case for the bones. And I have the bones stashed somewhere very special. They're not here, obviously. And so you may tap into the wood around you. You may tap into the bones around you. You may tap into different aspects of astrology or acupuncture or angels that deal with the bones to help you with your bones, and also the wood to help buoy the spirits. And then community, non-judgmental community, creative community that also respects, nobody's perfect. You're going to trip and fall. I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to do that kind of fortune telling, but people who accept sometimes mistakes happen, and really bad accidents, and we forgive. And you may appreciate leaning into those people, especially during these times, from the comfort of your own home. And maybe you're just tapping in psychically because you have that agreement, and maybe you're making a phone call because you have that agreement, and maybe it's letters. Perhaps it's with your team in spirit, your spirit team and your ancestors. And what else do I have to say about that? Wood. Wood is so beautiful. Buoys the spirits. So more on wood. Let's do some runes. We'll end with the rune and some scent. Whisper. The runes whisper. More wood. Some lepidolite. Oh, maybe we're going to roll that dice over there as well. I know. If you're only here. Can you imagine? Wow, crazy times. Okay. So, we have these runes. And let's see. Our highest love and light. What rune may assist us? Oh, we're coming out on top already. We got the sun on top. Ancestors are with us. Joyful times, the warmth of the sun, the light. Oh yes, the sun's extra active these days as well, which may explain a lot for you if you've been feeling tired or supercharged or extra energized, or you can't sleep at night, or maybe it's coming out in nerves. You may check out what's happening with the sun, and it may help ease your mind, and also know that we are growing with the sun, and that is super thrilling. All right, so let's see what rune. This one. So I'm not looking at it, I'm feeling it out. Yes, it has an engrave, but I can't quite tell. And ether, rich, P. Okay, let's see what that is. That is Wunjo. Ether. Yeah, speaking your ideas into the ether. I love that. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much. That is so beautiful. So the Wunjo, it brings fellowship, harmony, comfort, success, recognition. That's the outcome of this rune. And words associated with it are joy, glory, achievement. Romance, happiness. Wunjo. Correct me if I'm wrong. I am learning. That's why I was looking at that. I'm like, wait, sometimes this is tricky. So that's why I enjoy saying quadruple check me. I'm just another human on the trail. Wunjo. Satisfaction. Union, faithfulness, complicity, help in your work, career opportunities, wishes are granted, dangers are avoided, rebound after having touched bottom. Wow. And I was incorrect about the ether, the word. So Wunjo, satisfaction, goes with the word, the letters W and V, and the period is from the 14th to the 28th of October, and it's from 1930 to 2029. That is very interesting, very thrilling. So, yes, we may rest easy. And that is the goal, right? Even when it seems impossible, what can you do to rest easy? And so hopefully some of this helped, and maybe we're going to roll this dice because that's fun. Hopefully these chakra rocks have helped. And we have the South Node, moving out of your comfort zone. Leo, tying in with the Sun. We all have Leo in us somewhere. And so you may be tapping into your inner Leo, your higher Leo. All right, there's higher and lower expressions of each zodiac, like there's high and low expressions of adoption, high and low states of adoption. And the number 8, I love that that came up, especially after we had it on the Magician and the Strength card. We had the 8. And then what else was the 8? That was it. Thrilling, thrilling, thrilling. And so we hope you found at least one thing to assist you on your healing path, and that you had fun, even though we said motherfucker, and that you are, we hope that you are enjoying your weekend, the rest of your weekend, and that you are able to keep your safe, sound space and keep playing through these times when the loss is so much. We want to hurt ourselves or someone else, but not really. Maybe you tap into that Louise Hay book. Maybe you tap into the channeling book. Maybe you tap into the Reiki or getting treatments from professionals in your area. We offer distance Reiki, and you may sign up for that through our About page or email our witchtotake@gmail.com or Calendly at witchtotake. And I believe that link is also on our About page. And you are the Emperor, mastering your emotions. Bravo, brava. And you're Soul Surfer. You're riding the waves, right? Emotions are like water. And so are you. You have so much water in your body. You may enjoy the salt water treatments or drinking, just keeping hydrated. Or maybe you do like a cucumber cocktail. You skin your cucumbers, you peel them, and you add them to your water and let it hang out for a little. Or you have your own variations, all the different water treatments you can apply to assist you during times of stress. Maybe it's listening to water on the sound system, or you're able to visit water nearby. So many beautiful ways we can tap into water, even if we're just imagining it in our head, right? And what else do I want to tell you? Oh, yes. You have permission to keep your blinders on. And if you are out and about or passing through rooms from here to there and eyewitness to things that are super disturbing or pushing the amygdala into fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fawn, you have permission to put on your blinders and turn away and play your cards instead. And that's part of the way we play through. And miracles beyond belief happen with our work that way. And prayers, if you believe in the power of prayer, also assists. And little horsies like this, and your sage, your beautiful sage, and we just keep playing through and just try to steer clear of danger as much as we can, and forgiving ourselves when we trip and fall. Like, it happens, especially with so much stimulus. And I think with what we've been seeing over the past 4 years, we've just been seeing, wow, maybe we don't really need to watch the news like we thought we did. Maybe we need to tune into healing treatments. That feels more correct and safe to us. That feels like homeland security to us. And maybe we don't need to pick sides and be right. Maybe we just need to be kind and stay the fuck out of the way when we can, right? And to ensure every student succeeds. Maybe we take down our support this or support that country or team and give our kids a break. Let them off the hook. Stop making them have to pick sides to be right. And you too, like really walking a different way, stepping out of the low states of adoption where that was the protocol, right? Millennia, this has been the protocol. And perhaps we have had enough data and enough personal experiences to know, wow, we don't want to do that anymore, because we see it really hurts ourselves, it really hurts other people, and we don't want to do that anymore. And that doesn't deny that we're human, and sometimes things hurt so much that we feel like it, but we don't really want to do it because that really feels horrible. Those of you who have been there and hurt yourselves or someone else and made it through. And so we keep forgiving ourselves and other people and just try to keep steering clear of danger and shuffling our cards from states of emergency into adoption spirit magic. And you're working miracles beyond belief. Maybe this is what we came here for, and we can really rest in that. In these times of uncertainty, and these times of high stress, and these times of new energies, and we can perhaps just lean into playing our cards instead and relaxing into the healing treatments and enjoying learning about this new energy that we're experiencing, and figuring out how to move slower, and figuring out how to stretch our bodies now that we're here now, and how to walk a different way. And that's thrilling. So yeah, I think that's it. Ciao for now. We love you all.